Hey guys, welcome back to Surveying with Robert. So today what we're going to do, some of you guys have asked me about the R750 GPS receiver. So the R750 is a pretty neat little piece of equipment. You probably have seen it as an SPS on the construction side. You'll see them set up with a Zephyr geodetic antenna and a R750 on a tripod, a lot of construction sites. What I like about this R750 is the versatility of what I can do. I can make this a reference station. I can make this a base station. I can use radio. I can use cellular. I can use Wi-Fi. There's a lot. I love redundancy because when you get out there and something doesn't work, you can always flip the script and you can do something different, right? So let me show you kind of how I've got this thing set up. And I'm like in the worst place in the world, right? I'm right here around all these pine trees. You know why? Because it's shaded. This is the worst place in the world for GPS, but you know what? It's shaded and it's 210 degrees out here. So we'll just have to see how well it works in the pine trees, I guess. Okay, let's get out this fixed height. We'll start there. Okay, most of you know how much I like the fixed height because I believe in making things idiot-proof. So let's try to make this idiot-proof. Okay, so let me get this base set up here. No, I didn't put a nail in the ground or anything. I figured for what I need to show you guys, I don't need to get crazy with control or anything, right? So we'll just stick it in here, get it leveled up. I'm out here at Flint Creek and it sounds like some people over having fun. What am I doing? A video in the heat. Okay, so let's look at the R750. Let's see what we can accomplish with this thing. So, just to kind of give you guys an idea of how all this works. So here's the R750. Like I said, you probably have seen this on a construction site, hanging on a tripod, something like that. So it's got a hook on it right here. So that hook, and there's a little spot right here where I can just take it and just let her hang. Now, I'm gonna tell you a con real quick, okay? So one of the disadvantages to that is I have seen two so far of these R750s ground the radio out from this thing. So you get one of these things and all of a sudden your radio isn't working, it's probably grounded out against the metal. You need to figure out some of the place to hang it to there until you can get it repaired. So just watch out for that. Okay, so let me show you. If I wanted to go cellular, which I've teased you guys with cellular and kind of told you a little bit about how I do cellular, really haven't got in depth with you. I'm going to do that, but I'm probably going to do it on my website, which I am working on. Some of you have found it, surveyingwithrobert.com. I'm hoping to get a bunch of tutorials up and everything for you guys. And hopefully it's going to offset some of the cost I have incurred on all this stuff, because there's things I want to do, but it's hard. Like somebody asked me to do a video on processing a Phantom 4 RTK, and I'm like, well, that's great, but I need $8,000 to go buy Phantom 4. And YouTube just isn't paying that much. So let's hook this up. Let me show you what's going on here. If I wanted to run cellular, okay, this is all I need. There's a 4G modem. Take these two screws out right here on the back. You can put a SIM card, AT&T only, excuse me, AT&T only SIM card in there, but you can put an AT&T SIM card. So this is all you need. Now, some of you may complain about this cord, but there's value to having this cord. That value is, if I had a big project that was going to last a couple of years, I can mount this thing out there somewhere and put this inside something. So let's say that maybe I'm putting it inside of one of those metal boxes or something like that, right? So I put it inside one of those metal boxes and it's protected, and this can sit outside in the weather on top of the tripod. That's pretty valuable. So if I'm running Sailor, that's really all I need, okay? It's got an internal battery in it. It'll last, pretty much last all day. Everybody that I've talked to says it'll last all day. So you guys could run it all day if you wanted to, but if you want to be on the safe side, you get you one of these cables like I use and hook it up to a 12-volt battery, and that will make your life a whole lot better. So let me show you another little thing. Let's say that you're just set up real quick on a job site. Robert, I don't want to do Sailor. I'm going from here to there, right? Put the rubber ducky antenna on it. It's got a 2-watt radio built in. Redundancy, people. That's what I'm telling you. This receiver is $14,000 for this setup. The kit that I put together with this tripod and everything comes out to about $16,000. $14,000, and I can have this if I've got the tripods and everything else I'm fixing to show you. That's all I need. So if I wanted to run this, and it charges right here, it's a USB-C charger, kind of like your TSC5 or something like that, or TDC 600, use the same charger. So you can put a pigtail on the back. I can hang this inside of a building, hook an Ethernet cable up to it, and it's a reference station. I can put a SIM card in it, run it as a reference station. I can use a MiFi with it, run it as a reference station. This is to me only a base station. You can get it based in rover. You don't want to do that. Unless you're on a boat. If you're on a boat, that could be a rover. That could work. You keep this in the dry, put that where it's getting wet from spray or whatever, and that would work, okay? But we're talking base only. Base only, 14 grand, hard to beat. So, and you're picking up all the constellations. You know, when you do that includes the upgrade for the Galileo and the Beiju. I got sweat running in my eyes. Wow. It's got a nice breeze, but it's warm out here. Okay, so let's move on down the road. I'm going to show you some other little things that I like to do. This is an antenna bracket that Nina makes. I think most of the dealers probably put these together. So this is what I like to do, because with that radio down low like that, to me, you're not going to get much range out of it. Any terrain between you and this thing, that's going to be a problem. So I came up with an idea. Of course, I had to ditch this yellow cable because it ain't long enough. And unscrew this. Put this on here. So now what I did is I had the office make me up a cable. So this is a 9-foot long cable, and it's part of the kit that I put together. So this 9-foot long cable, what this does is it lets me put the GPS receiver. If I wanted to, I could put that GPS receiver, I could lay it on the ground. You know, I was telling you about it grounding out. With these cables, I could lay it on the ground so it doesn't ground out against that tripod. You know, put it in the box or whatever. And the problem with brand new cables are, they are difficult to screw on. Come on, baby. Okay, so I take the other end. Well, the other end's walling around in dirt. First thing you do is turn this the right direction and not the wrong direction. Oops, my bad. So I put this on here, and then I have a steel whip antenna somewhere here in the truck. There it is. I put this on here, You'd think I'd done this before, wouldn't you? So, as you waller your cables in the dirt, like I'm doing, nothing but sand out here. So I'm gonna take this cable and this radio loose. So you don't have to worry about getting these confused because they changed the pin inside the radio cable, which has made it to where you have to have a special cable made up, and that is what I had the office do for me. So they made the radio cable, they put a 90 on it, which at first I thought was, you know, why'd you put 90 on? Why not just put it straight? But they're different, right? So that was actually pretty smart of him to put a 90 on there because now I know which cable's which. Okay. So this looks like a lot of work compared to an R12. And it is. But if you're going to be there all day long and you're going to run radio all day long, then I recommend you run it like this. Okay? So I'm going to run 12-volt battery to here. I've got my 2-watt radio with an antenna. I'm getting farther away. So if you want to run radio, bada bing, there you go. If you want to run cellular, you can. You can run either way you want to in order to make this puppy work. So redundancy, right? Like I said, I could put a SIM card in it, AT&T SIM card. I could take a Verizon MiFi. If AT&T's not working, I can MiFi over to this, and I can go cell phone based to rover. If you want to see how to run cell phone based to rover, go to my website, become a member, and I'm putting videos up on how to do all this stuff. So in case you're curious, you need IP address and a port, and I've got the server set up so we can make that happen. So here you go, all set up, base station. So I'm gonna kick it on. And I'm gonna get my old man glasses out so I can see how many satellites we've got. Probably gonna take it a second or two. Right now I've got 7. $18, $19, $20, $22. We'll look here in a second. Since it's I've moved it a pretty good ways. I think the last time I had this hooked up was in Florida, so I moved it a long way. So it's going to download the almanac and everything to figure out where satellites are at. But right now I'm running 22, and like I said, nothing but pine trees around me. I wanted some shade to do this video. So that, my friends, is the R750, which, like I said, is, my opinion, a really sweet base station. Get the pigtail, hook it up to Ethernet, 4G SIM card, MiFi, Wi-Fi, 2-watt radio, rubber ducky antenna, or run the steel whip. If you can't get any range out of it, throw the steel whip on it and roll that way. If you're close proximity, just run the little rubber ducky. So, what do you guys think? I think it's a pretty neat little receiver. I think you ought to check into it. It sure beats heck out of spending about $24,000, $25,000 for an R12. Promise you that. So, there you go. It's not that hard to put together. I come from the days of the old receivers with all the batteries and cables and antennas and everything else. I feel like this is similar, except it's all in one place. So that makes it nice. And it picks up a whole lot more satellites. Let's see. So like I said, we're like in the worst spot in the world for GPS. Here in the pine trees, I'm running 26 right now. So I have seen as many as 34 on this thing. So it's not a bad deal for a guy that's looking for a base station. So anyways, it's hot. I'm going back to the house to find me something to drink. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, love you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video, which hopefully is coming up here pretty soon. So take care while I break all this back down.